our circumstances in a responsible and mature manner. But my focus is that the only option that we have right now are difficult and daunting, and we must go through them so that we can come out the better. So what do you make of that statement by the Vice President? Daily Post captions it like this: hardship, Tinubu government facing challenging, difficult task of fixing Nigeria. VP Shettima, Kashim Shettima, is saying, hey, the only option we have in front of us is difficult and a daunting task. We don't have an easy option. Do you agree? Because Falana was in the news today. Falana said that let's reverse the policies. And Falana's not the first person saying it. I think on the show, or was it when I was on the morning crossfire, I had the prof say, hey, let's reverse these economic policies because we have not put things on the ground to ensure that we're taking the steps that we've taken. For instance, there is no proper manufacturing, there is no proper production. So on what structure is our naira going to stand in the battle against the foreign currencies? I mean, these are the issues. But I'd like to get your thoughts on what the Vice President Kashim Shettima said as it relates to the situation, the economy, the state of the Nigerian economy. All right. So let's quickly, remember we're running against time. So let's quickly see what I have in store for you as other big stories. Okay. All right. So to other big stories right now, I'm looking at my list. Abuja residents loot FCT warehouses. This is in connection with, I guess, the first big story. So, the VP, through his special assistant on political matters, Dr. Hakim Ahmed, or Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, was telling Nigerians at that event that, hey, it's a difficult time. But let's not break the law. Let's not flout the law. Let's ensure that we do the right thing. Let's ensure that we take the right path. Because there is a way that seems right unto a man, but the end is destruction. Is that not what is written? I just added that part to the statement by the Vice President. However, over the weekend, I think it was yesterday, we saw reports emanate on various news platforms that Nema's warehouse had been looted. However, Nema came out to refute and say none of his warehouses were looted in Abuja. Now, the reports say, I think, is it the FCT warehouse, something like that, but warehouses located in Abuja were looted by Nigerians. And newspapers say hoodlums. I don't know if that's the right way to describe them. People hungry. I'm not saying that's the right thing as well, but I don't know if I want to call them hoodlums. You know, there is the cause and effect on this very issue. I leave that for you to be the judge. However, we saw over the weekend as well, you know, a truck being waylaid in Kaduna by Kaduna residents. Now we're seeing that happen very close to Kaduna. Now this is the capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm talking about Abuja, and the warehouses were looted. Some people arrested, about 15 last time I counted, were arrested. We saw the pictures displayed on various newspaper front pages. It's crazy. Like the Vice President said, which I concur, I do think we should be able to express our grievances, our grouse, in a civilized manner. This is not an animal kingdom. However, I do think the government will have to think about their options all over again, because the Vice President coming out to say that the challenges before us are difficult and daunting and there are no easier options. Just maybe the government will have to look for some kind of way to cushion, to ease the transition into the better life that I don't know if we just taking it all at a time is the right solution. I don't know, but I'd like to get your thoughts on that one, and that leads us to the third big story. I'm still wondering what you think about the looting of the warehouse. Nema says it's not his warehouse. I do feel it's wrong. Trust me, I know my feelings don't count on the show, and I barely tell you what I feel. But today, I'm forced to say, I do feel it's wrong. I get people are hungry, and when people are hungry, there is, the what's the word now? There is the proclivity to becoming angry and leave it. I get the point. However, if we all flap the laws because we are all angry and hungry, then we will become an animal kingdom. We will become an animal kingdom. So at this point, I'm thinking, what is on your mind concerning the looting of warehouses in Abuja? And my third big story is still connected. Labour is also speaking, and they're speaking loudly, and they're saying we will not stop the impending strike except the agreements are met. We'll talk about that when we come back from the break. Just stay tuned.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Updates, and I bring you good news.
All right, 26 minutes gone past the hour of 3. It's the Monday edition of Hard Facts and 92.3 Nigeria Info. I've got wonderful conversations lined up for your listening pleasure. But let's first of all look at the big stories for today. I mean, there are a couple of other big stories I could have looked at from over the weekend, but let's stick with this ones. Number one, I told you what the vice president has said about the current situation of the nation, the state of the economy, and he says it is a daunting task for the Tinubu's government. The only options that they have, the only options that is possible at the time are difficult options, and we must face those options. The second one has got to do with the looting of warehouses in Abuja, and I'm wondering if that is a signal of how low we are falling, or we're still falling. I don't know what you're told on that one. And then the third big story is about Labour saying, hey, okay, we know how things are right now, and we're not going to call off the strike this time. I think we've given government enough time to be able to meet the demand. And top on the list of demand is the 35,000 naira wage award, and according to Labour, the government has paid just once since October, when they called off their pending strike at the time. They also mentioned the what do you call it now, transfer of 15,000 naira to a couple of MSMEs. There was the talk of CNG buses. There was the talk about fixing the refinery. There was the talk about, there were a couple of things on that agreement. Although the federal government says it has met about 90% or 80% of the agreement, Labour says, hey, that's a lie. You're deceiving Nigerians, and we will not have any of it. We are going to see you on the streets if you do not. Is it on or in the streets now? We're going to see you on the streets, I guess. If you do not meet the demands of Labour. So what are your thoughts? Now, it looks like the three big stories are interconnected. Vice President saying Nigerians should conduct themselves in an orderly manner and express their grievances in an orderly manner, saying that it's just difficult options before Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and there's no easy option for him. And then there's the second one where the some warehouses, and it's a terrible situation for the people who owns these warehouses, who have the warehouses, the people who own them. I think I did see a report elaborating on so I'm just going to read a bit of this. Let's see. So the warehouses were warehouses that stored food. A factory in the Jabi Abuja area. Some people. The factory is involved in the production, processing, and packaging of various agro commodities, including grains, pulses, and edible oil. Right. And this did I say 15 people arrested? According to the Punch, there were just 5 people at the time arrested. I don't know if that number has increased, so I beg your pardon, please to forgive me for giving you wrong information earlier. 5 people, not 15. And okay. Alright, so let's open the phone lines. It is the bottom of the hour, just making sure my facts have been correct, and my facts are correct actually. So 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. There is 0817-923-0007. WhatsApp number 0809-0306-416. I'd like to hear from you, and let's get to hear what is on your mind. All right, on Facebook we're live, Nigeria Info PH, and X we are active and interactive, Nigeria Info PH, and on YouTube we are live as well, Nigeria Info PH. I am Kalada Karubata, but you can follow me on social media as well, D Kalada, THEKALADA. All right, Frank from D Line is my first caller for today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kalada.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome. So, what is on your mind?
Let me dwell on Abuja resident rooted warehouse in Abuja. That is a bad news.
Okay.
And why just people looted that warehouse? Because of hunger in the land.
Okay.
I have been saying it, others have been saying it, that let Mr. President do something about this hardship.
What should he do? What should he do? The vice. Frank, what?
Please, Mr. President, do something. Then for the issue
Frank, wait, Frank, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Frank? Please don't make me shout too much. Now, you said the president should do something, but his vice just said that it's a difficult task. So, what are you expecting the president to do? I mean, it's not going to be easy solving the problems according to the president or his vice now.
Mr. Kalada, as you can see, the issue of transportation now is very high. For you to travel from here to Bayelsa, it's very difficult for you to go there. And then you carry something like 7,000 naira just of a place you're supposed to pay like 1,500. You see, that one alone will even increase the high cost of food items.
All right.
Are you getting my point?
I'm getting your point.
So the issue of that, putting the 3 refineries, that is very important.
All right.
Because if we have enough fuel here, that will ameliorate the problem of high price of fuel.
All right.
But now we don't have fuel. Every time they say there's no fuel, and the high price is also a problem for those marketers, for them to transport their goods.
All right.
So that is another thing.
All right.
So and insecurity. So if our president can focus on the 3 refineries, fight insecurity, so the farmers can go to their farm and harvest their crops, it will be a help. So this is my contribution.
All right, thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Victor from Ogunabali. Oh, I missed that one. Clinton from Bori, welcome. Clinton, greetings to you. Welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Thank you very much, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Let me start by quoting one portion of the Bible. That if the foundation be destroyed, what would the righteous do?
Okay.
The foundation, Kalada, does not exist. The government of the day did not do adequate assessment, proper assessment of the problems before ruling out the policies.
Okay.
We are not saying that these policies are not good. We are not saying they are not good. But what measures have you put in place to curtail the aftermath effects of the policies being implemented? Those things are not there, Canada. We talk about economic machineries. Our refineries that control virtually everything in Nigeria is not operational because the price of PMS, Canada, I tell you, regulate or control everything in the market.
Okay.
And that have not been addressed. You went and removed fuel subsidy. Now, talk about the industries. The industries are not functioning, Canada. We even have industries in Nigeria that are producing made in Nigeria goods. We don't have these things in place, Canada. This is why things are so difficult. And that's why I don't even blame people that go and look. People are hungry, Canada.
All right, Clinton, I've got to go. People are hungry, you say, but thank you very much. I've got gift from Yenegwa. Gift, welcome on the show. Please talk to me.
Canada, my brother, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Thank you, God bless you.
So let's get your thoughts.
Canada, the looting of that very warehouse, I don't know if you have accessed it through videos and all the rest.
Okay. What are you trying to point out?
Yes, you agree with me that that one is not hunger. It is complete criminality.
Okay.
Canada, we all are hungry. I wonder which person. But for now, no big man, no poor man in this country. Even the big men are crying because the load that they are carrying as I speak with you today is more than ever before. I am telling you that is the gospel truth. You people understand that you don't have much. They will not even disturb you. It is that big man that everybody will call. My wife is pregnant. I've not eaten since 1 week ago. This, that, the excuse from here to Yenegua. But I got to Yenegua. But you that does not have, nobody is calling you to disturb. You can imagine how come a warehouse that they used to distribute the first tranche, second tranche, and now the third one, they just offloaded those things. If it is a place that they are not even distributing, it is even a different ball game. They've given the first one, given the second one, and they are doing it in the sixth local government that made up Abuja. And you decided to do this.
Report on Punch says that this warehouse that was looted is seemingly a private warehouse. It's a warehouse belonging to a factory responsible for the processing and production of agro commodities. So that means it's not even government owned. So
the government is using that place. They are partnering with that very private.
Whether they're partnering or not, it's not government owned. It's
no. Those things belong to the government of the day.
Yet again, it's not government owned. It's partnership, which could be that the government has paid.
That is what I am telling you. Those goods there, they are partnering with that private person.
Okay, that means government paid for it. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Even if you listen to the city minister for state, she said it clearly.
Okay.
They are the ones that want to build that, to rebuild. She said it is not even renovation. A situation where you decided to even pull the roof, you took fence, you took gate. Is that one hungry? It is pure criminality. Thank God they've arrested 15 persons.
It's five.
For the remaining persons, they should arrest all of them, and they must vomit those things. What kind of hunger? Are you not hungry?
All right, give 5 persons. 5 persons, not 15. I made an error earlier. Is it Ken from Ubumini? Welcome, is it Ken? What is on your mind? I like here.
Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Canada, imagine what the vice president is telling us. Well, if their option is not easy to be taken, I think I should advise them Are you talking to me?
I'm listening to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm listening.
All right. So I should advise the presidency that they should take the very easier option. Let them please open the border for Nigerians. Let them please make sure that at least the one that they have mentioned for Nigerian people to vote for, the Port Harcourt refinery, let them please keep it fit and functional. Even if they cannot withstand the insecurity in the country, but let there be a community that will serve the people for their transportation and the means of their goods and services, which is our petrol. By so doing, I think things will be at least in the minimum way of management. Then at the start of the looting, I think beating my chest that so-called looting of a thing is not looting, because that has been there for how many years? Nobody knew.
See now, let me Ezekiel, that's not a right thought pattern. Some things are saved, even if it's government owned. So imagine there is famine in the land. Where do you think government will get food from? It's what it has stored. Government has a right to store. They have a right to have a reserve. It's like asking, why does government have money in the bank? Why don't you question foreign exchanges? Why do you not question all of these things? So you saying why would they have food in store is a silly question, I should say. I'm sorry.
If I may question, I think for this moment that nothing should have been in that warehouse, because
so I don't know. I don't know if you're aware of the president saying that grains should be released to people. Have they not been releasing grains? So why then do people go to loot? There is no excuse for looting. Anyways, thank you very much, Ezekiel. I've got to go. Chris from Rumu Biakni is waiting. Chris, welcome.
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Yes, for me, I think I'm in tune with the vice president.
Okay.
We should not behave like children, because it's like when Moses wanted to take the Israelites to their place, or their land, and some people were complaining, we are where we were eating carrots, and all of that. So are they saying we should go back to Egypt? It's not possible. See, if you are having an infection that needed surgery, there is no shortcut. So we should take this bitter pill for once.
So you're saying
it's like one having like a pregnant woman.
So you're saying
you kill that
Chris,
woman 9 months for her to have a nice baby before you talk of childbirth. You don't just rush because you've not been having children for years. So if you should born under 1 month, it's not possible. There are some things you must face it squarely. It's natural.
Right.
So we should behave like adults for once.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
Remember Jonathan era. Because this same system and that is how we are still where we are. So let's take this action. Heaven will not fall.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Ida from Inkoro. Ida, welcome. What is on your mind? Yeah, welcome, please.
I like your food, no, talk small. I'm for you.
Ida, quickly, straight to the point. We don't have enough time. Yeah, please, quickly.
We don't call that look, we call it taking.
Ida, we don't celebrate. Ida,
small thing they do too. As I say, I'm motor they drive.
Ida,
when I get small things, my job, I beg, no go loot again.
Okay.
God go do wonderful thing for our life.
All right, thank you very much. We don't celebrate looting on the show, please. Now, some people say, "Oh, why did they store the grains?" It is still you who would complain if something happens, like there is flooding or there is an emergency and then we don't have emergency food items to give, you still will be the ones to complain. Every country, and I mean every one country, has got food reserves stored up in warehouses. Go to your research, go Google it. Every one country, not one, except the country is broke or something. Every one country. As a matter of fact, I do suspect that sometimes, the foreign grains, the foreign rice and foreign maize and foreign whatever that we import into those countries are usually items that have been stored in reserves for years that are close to maybe their expiry date, and then they're now imported to the country so we can quickly rush by and eat. Think about it. Every country's got grain. So you questioning why there were food items. Okay, during the floods, where did they bring the food that they gave to people who were affected by the floods, even though that was also reported to have been characterized by corruption? Where did they get the grains from? So let's not celebrate corruption on the show, please. I do not. No, come on. This one says, I'm very happy hearing the looting of warehouses in Abuja. This is to inform President Tinubu the Nigerians are very angry with his economic policies. I also wish President Tinubu... I'm going to stop. But right now, I'm hoping that if someone robs you tonight and the person is robbing you because of hunger and takes away all of your valuables, you would celebrate that. Hey, thank God they robbed my house today. So it's a message to Tinubu. I hope that will be the feeling. I hope that will be how you see it, right? But let's do this one. So it is sad and shameful what Nigeria is currently going through. Citizens now attack storehouses and trucks for food, while our politicians keep saying it will get better as they are on top of the situation. Obviously, people in power have run out of ideas and the worst is yet to happen, but I pray we don't get to that X and mic from time. What should be the focus for me, I think, should be, what if this spirals out of control? What if this, begins the... and that should be our focus, not... Because, trust me, if this gets worse and people begin to attack others who they perceive as doing better than them and who they perceive as richer than them, then none of us will be safe. None of us. These states or country will become, inhabitable. And I need you to think from that direction as well. But let's quickly move on. Newton Encourage says, let's see the big stories. Good day, Canada. Shettima on the state of the economy. Protest against hardship in a responsible manner. Shettima tells Nigerians, this is the most insensitive remark from a man who occupies such an exalted position. This shows how far removed they are from the people they claim to govern. He speaks like he cares. What does he know about being poor? I blame Osha. Well, time will tell. Then you went on to say, let's see what else you put out there. Abuja residents loot FCT warehouses. An angry man can be desperately irresponsible for good reasons. I urge the authorities to release the hungry people who went to a warehouse to help themselves to some food items. The Bible says when a man that is hungry is caught stealing, he should be set free. Newton Ikure, thank you very much. I hope it's the same attitude when we are attacked ourselves, right? This one says, until Nigerian politicians become responsible and stop stealing this country, we will continue to be in this mess. It is unfortunate that we have these clueless rulers and criminals in government. Monday Mbank from GRA Port Harcourt. And this one says, good day, Mr. K. Bataba. Abuja residents loot warehouses. This is unusual, quite unfortunate and worrisome. The economic situation in Nigeria is very harsh for Nigerians. The looting of Abuja warehouses for me is not criminality. Nigerians are very famished. People cannot afford 2 square meals in a day. President Tinubu should revise economic policies immediately. I want to attack Clinton West. Ezekiel Isaiah says, sometimes our leaders talk as if they don't live in the country. We must survive all their evil plans, Ezekiel. Thank you very much. And this one says, greetings. Why would federal government stock food in warehouse with air condition when millions of Nigerians are hungry? The looting of the foodstuff in the warehouse is a sign of hunger in the country. From Thank God, I believe that. Thank God, I think I've already corrected that notion. They store houses for emergency situations. And by the way, not because I'm a spokesperson for the government, but the president recently, told them to reel out food items. Was it not how many tons of grains were? I don't know. But let's go back to Facebook, or let's go to Facebook. Nigeria Info. Is it Nigeria Info PH? Yeah. That's the handle, Nigerian for PH. And Julik son Samson says, I stand with Labour on this agreement. Okay. Wosi Courage Bobo says, Canada, people cannot be hungry and warehouses will be keeping food without maximum security. Food warehouses are like money banks now, so they need maximum security. All right. Oh, you do have a point. K. Odu says, I know APC supporters are immune to harsh economic conditions because they are buying and selling in an alternate market, but still 2050. Boy Kanke Odwaka says, Abuja residents loot FCT warehouse. How do you loot something that belongs to you? Who told you it belongs to them? Anyways, moving on. Thank God, I think I've read your message. Let's see. I think I've read that. Let's move on now. Oh, Newton Curious says, are you aware that Ukraine sent food items to help Nigeria fight hunger? Ukraine that is at war. I did see that story. Trust me, I did. And it's crazy. You say, yet VP is ranting. Okay. Was that a rant? I do not know. But let's go back to the phone line. 08179230002. There is 08179230003. And there is 08179230007. Melody Uniport says, Canada, you must judge the people by their reality and experience over time. We have a situation where our leaders can be trusted. From my experience, the politicians loot everything, including what they don't need. So it is difficult for the people to believe that the warehouses store those food for storage purposes. Hunger is a survival instinct that can lead anyone to any kind of survival strategy. But I'm saying, if everybody decides to get into survival mode, don't you think that it will be a crazy, very crazy situation? Any which ways, I read more messages, but let's listen to Robin from HA. Robin, greetings, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Robin Majid the farmer, tell me what's on your mind, please.
Yes, you won't agree that we are conquered people.
Of course, I'm not a conquered person. I don't know about you, but go ahead.
No problem. The warehouse looting in Abuja, nobody that has called on the show or that is in part of the world that has sent those people to go and loot those warehouses. Canada, if you recall, weeks back, trucks in Niger State were attacked and grains were looted. These are all signals. Vice President Shettima was the former governor of Borno State, a senator, and the man whom he is deputizing was the national leader of a party that ruled this country for 8 years. He is telling us the difficult situations that the president is having difficult time, or for them what to do and how to take out of the wood. Father, the president told us the final will work by December. Is it working? I told it will not work. Is it working?
Okay.
Let me tell you, and those who are listening to me, I pray, let it not degenerate. It should not degenerate.
All right.
People are hungry.
All right.
You also know that the former governor of Rivers State told us that I am hungry as a Rivers youth. And as I'm calling you now, I am hungry. So I want to call on the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency. He should move up to Songhai Farm. Let him assist us. We are suffering. Those men in the bush cannot allow us. They are being chased. Everyday problem. Food is a problem. And refinery should work.
All right.
This
all right.
floating around the whole world by President Tinubu will not solve any problem. Let him remain here and ensure that agriculture Right. Good afternoon, Robin Mada.
Robin Marja, the farmer, thank you very much. Calling from Eche. Let's see. Khaled, I think the Nimet, is it? I think Nema, you meant Nema, said nobody looted their warehouse or warehouses. Then who owns the warehouse? Canada, on the PMS price hike, please, I want to do investigation. I'm not talking about PMS price, but let's read. You say Benin to the west, the price still remains NNPC 586, another filling station between 600 and 620. But in River State and Bayelsa, that I know, the price is from 730 to 800. Who's filling who? We exonerate our governance and blame federal government. If we're going by the information available, we had that allocation increased to 56% more than before because of subsidy removal. Then we didn't see the effect, or we're not seeing the effect. River State got 15 licenses to build modular refineries. Only one was built, and we don't know the location. Imo State cited their own at Obima. They do have their own, yet no improvement. I think something is wrong somewhere.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info.
I'm going to focus on reading the messages. I just read Joe's message. I've got Clinton, Erekere. Crime rates is on the rise in our localities. Phones and other valuables have been looted on a daily basis in broad daylight. Government must be proactive in addressing these issues before it becomes unmanageable. On the demands of labor, trust me, Canada, the government has not implemented 30%. CNG buses, I have not seen one. 25,000 cash transfer, not done. 35,000 for federal workers not paid. Refineries not fixed. God help us as a nation. Comrade Clinton from Bori. Katie, what is going on is an emergency. The food should be released to Nigerians. Dave, the food is being released. I mean, we've seen some of the releases in Lagos and some parts. We've also had stories of people who went there. I mean, Lagos is the one I can remember vividly, but there are other parts of the country where the food has been released to the people as well. This is the reason why no serious government pushes their people to this extent of survival of the fittest. This is the core mandate of government. Government exists so that the people can't activate their survival strategies. And I do agree with you. Melody, on that one. Okay, I don't think this is for me. I think you can make a moving on. Let's see. Looting of warehouses in Abuja is a dangerous move to cause more crisis nationwide. Fidelis Elemuwa from Chokochoeche. And this one says, good afternoon, sir. We keep talking about the president that that there is hunger, but what is our governor, or what are our governors doing? What is SIM doing most? You said, must it be about politics every time in River State? What is he doing about the hunger? The man self now. Wow. All right. The business news is up next. Shortly, we will be going for the business news. But when I do come back, I do have a conversation I'd like to have with you. And this time, we will take a trip to Odagwa Eche. I was there this morning. I'm still wondering how I have enough energy to be so vocal on the show this afternoon. Maybe I'm just passionate about our topic for the afternoon. But hey, I'll tell you about my trip to Odagwa Eche, and it has to do with the Elders Farmers Crisis And I'm wondering, when I look at what's the state called now? Is it Benue? No, not Benue now. Plateau State, and I see the crisis emanating or existing in certain local governments, and I'm looking at Zamfara State, Borno State, and I'm also talk about herders and farmers conflicting or having conflicts, and then I'm thinking this is probably how it started. It possibly was ignored by the government of the day or the governments that came as time went by, and nobody did anything, and it became the monster that it has become now. I am Kalada Kurubata, and it's a pleasure having you on your side of the radio, so do stay tuned. I'll be right back after the business news.
Is 92.3 Nigeria Info, the only place where talk is not cheap. Stay on track with Nigeria Info.
PFN, so Bishops.
Talking about Moriwa and AS Roma, follow the Vala joint forces with Moriwa.
And then so the aviation workers also want to join this plan.
Only on Nigeria Info. It's 4 o'clock.
And now the business news.